Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a local school lockdown ends safely, but parents say they were left in the dark. The communication breakdown sparking frustration. We'll tell you when Texans are scheduled to get full SNAP benefits after the end of the shutdown. And we have video of a man arrested by ICE. We'll tell you who shot that video.
We're looking for some warm, windy weather, but the good news is while you can enjoy the weekend out there on the West Coast, this storm is going to be coming to our neighborhood next week. Hopefully it'll bring us some rain. We'll be talking about that coming up in a moment.
And Refugio's Carly McLean commits next level on the track. We'll highlight her signing later on in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good afternoon. Thank you for being with us. I'm Don Brubaker. Shawna Curry is on assignment. Authorities say a standoff at a house in El Campo today was resolved peacefully. KULP radio reports that 41-year-old Victor Reveles was taken into custody after ICE agents entered his Robert Street home. He had been barricaded for several hours. El Campo police helped establish a perimeter around the house. ICE says Reveles had ties to a gang and had been deported from the U.S. twice before. Police also locked down Hutchins Elementary and the El Campo High School gym during the incident. Cuero ISD went into a brief lockdown earlier today, sparking concern among parents. 25 News Now's Amaya Norman is following the story and has the latest on what happened and how families are reacting.
Earlier today, Cuero ISD went into a lockdown, prompting quick response from the law enforcement. But many parents say they were left with no answers for hours. Cuero ISD says staff and officers conducted a thorough check of the entire school. After searching each building, they determined there was no threat, calling the incident a false alarm. But a parent tells us they received no alerts from the district while the lockdown was happening, and only learned about it well after it was over. Some say they were worried and frustrated with the lack of communication.
Well, you kind of get panicked. I mean, because, you trust that your kids are going to be safe with everything that's going on nowadays. You just never know. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, I know they try their best and they, want us to be vigilant with contact information, saving numbers and stuff like that. But honestly, they need to be, give us the same respect.
Parents also express how important it is for schools to send out alerts immediately when an incident happened. We reached out to Cuero ISD, but the district wouldn't share any details. But PD confirmed a staff member accidentally activated an emergency alert. Dawn, back to you.
Amaya, thank you. Seadrift's boil water notice has been lifted. Officials say tests sent to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality Thursday came back safe, and the notice was officially lifted just after 4:30 this afternoon. Texans started receiving full SNAP benefits today. The U.S. Department of Agriculture on Thursday ordered states to send full SNAP benefits, quote, promptly, unquote. When the USDA ordered states last weekend to deliver partial SNAP benefits, the state got them to Texans in 2 days. Now it said Texans will start getting benefits just 1 day after the state received a new directive. Some Texans received up to 65% of their typical monthly payments starting last Monday. 3.5 million Texans, 1.7 of them children, get food assistance. Air traffic controllers received a payment Friday for some of the hours worked during the federal government shutdown. Controllers and other Federal Aviation Administration workers who maintain essential equipment were required to work during the shutdown while not getting paid. Some controllers took sick leave during the lapse in funding that led to delays and some flight cancellations. Officials said this week controllers would get a payment within 48 hours of the end of the shutdown and the rest within about a week. The Refugio County Commissioners Court reinstated a county-wide burn ban this week. The unanimous vote came as dry and windy conditions continue across the region. The ban lasts through December 10th unless lifted earlier by the Texas Forest Service or the court. Burning permits will continue to be issued on a case-by-case basis. And of course, this is all because of the windy weather that is also very dry. Is that going to continue for how many days, Mac? Throughout the weekend, it looks like.
Well, for the weekend for sure, we're going to be looking at windy but warm weather, and we should all be cautious with anything that looks like flame. On the West Coast, however, we do have a very powerful winter storm. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be that strong when it gets here, but it will be strong enough to knock down this high pressure, and that's going to allow us to get hopefully some rain next week. We sure could use it. We'll be talking more about that coming up in just a moment. Don, back to you.
Mike, thank you. Our own meteorologist and reporter Trey Mining was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2019. Since then, Trey has learned to live with the condition, learn more about it, and has recently completed surgery to help reduce the symptoms. So how is he doing and where does he go from here? Well, you can find out by attending a meeting where Trey will be the featured speaker. PAM Health Parkinson's Support Group, Wednesday, November 19th at 12 noon inside the Gulf Bend Center Conference Room, 6502 Nursery Drive, second floor. Everyone is welcome to attend. Moments ago, Governor Greg Abbott and Google officials announced Google's $40 billion investment in Texas. As part of Google's Investing in America initiative, the investment will boost cloud and artificial intelligence infrastructure with the development of data center facilities, programs to strengthen energy capacity and affordability, and workforce training in the state. This is Google's largest investment in any state in the U.S. The campaign to prevent screwworm continues with the development of a new sterile fly facility in Mexico. The USDA reports the opening of the facility in Tampico, Mexico, allowing the USDA to disperse sterile flies across northeastern Mexico. That includes Nuevo Leon, the most northern point screwworm has been spotted. The sterile flies will prevent the population from growing. The USDA says it will disperse 100 million sterile flies per week in Mexico, and it has plans to open another facility at Moore Air Base in Edinburgh by early 2026. Fort Hood suspended an Army medical provider following allegations made by patients. The Department of the Army says its Criminal Investigation Division started its inquiry within hours of the allegations. A lawsuit was filed against Army Major Blaine McGraw, an OBGYN at Fort Hood's Medical Center. The suit alleges he secretly recorded patients during intimate exams. The plaintiff, identified only as Jane Doe, seeks more than $1 million in damages. NBC News reports the Army revealed that at least 30 women were identified as having been photographed or videotaped by the gynecologist. Convicted child sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer says prison workers were fired after her email messages were shared. Maxwell, former right-hand woman to the late Jeffrey Epstein, is currently at a minimum security prison camp in Bryan. This week, a whistleblower released reported correspondence between Maxwell and her lawyer to Democratic Congressman Jamie Raskin. The information included details about reported special privileges Maxwell is getting in prison. In Minnesota, video shot by a teen shows the moments his father was arrested by ICE agents. Witnesses say there was no explanation for the arrest. Connor White shows us the video.
These dramatic moments caught on camera in Northfield Tuesday.
Hey, put the gun down, that's my dad.
We don't see what happened before this, but a teenager starts recording as ICE agents grab at his father through a car window. A window that witnesses tell us the agents shattered moments before. Once out of the car, the boy's voice cracks as he sees agents take his dad to the ground. One of the agents tries to calm the teen down, but no one explains why they are taking him away. WCCO is not naming the man detained at the family's request. They say this happened while he was on his way to work.
I mean, their life is completely upside down now.
Krista Anderson is a bilingual volunteer with the local school district who has worked with the man's son in class. She says the man and his wife first arrived in the United States from Mexico more than 10 years ago. President Donald Trump has made this claim that ICE is going after the worst of the worst, hardened criminals. Does that describe this man at all?
Absolutely not. He's got children. He works hard, 2 jobs. You know, he's going to work and coming home to support his family.
What's your wife and family think?
A second video taken by a bystander shows most of the agents on scene were masked, driving unmarked cars.
In this situation, there were unidentified men with no uniforms and no ID that came and they took somebody, and we didn't know where he was going or what was happening.
ICE officials did not respond to a request for comment. The Northfield police chief says his officers do not know the man who was detained and that they were not notified ahead of time about an enforcement operation. If you see news happening, call our newsroom at 361-576-0026 or send us an email at staff@crossroadstoday.com. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 6, we'll show you one school classroom that is trying to make a difference. Find out how next. And also ahead, we tell you how a school principal in the East lived up to the promise he made to his students.
Here's a look at what you can expect on Community Crossroads. We hear from the Victoria ISD, the Calhoun County Humane Society, the Salvation Army, and Theater Victoria.
It's a farce, so it's a very physical play. There's lots of slapstick, almost slapstick. There's lots of, there's 5 doors, so people are going in and out of doors like crazy. Lots of mistaken identity, lots of fun.
Classroom is leading an anti-violence initiative after a classmate was killed. Alyssa Jackson reports from a school in Kansas City.
In here.
Elissa,
Some lessons can't come from a textbook.
They found out who did it.
That's Teresa Fligger.
The person is going to be going to jail now.
She's telling her students the person who killed their classmate, Courtney, pleaded guilty in court. Over a year and a half ago, they lost her.
I remember when I found out about it, I was just stunned at first. But then when it kind of hit me, it was like I just screamed.
Fligger never had a student of hers killed. The young girl they were so used to seeing show up to school every day, sit in these chairs.
I feel good that they got him.
And raise her hand to come up with solutions to violence at their after-school program, Kaufman Cares.
Courtney, she was a sweet girl. It's just sad to see very young people get their life taken away.
Remember last week, guys, we started talking about what violence is, and we talked
Courtney
about it
was
being
a part of creating a
intentional.
workshop with the Kaufman program about violence. Those conversations have not stopped.
I'd had another student share, was just sobbing, and he said, my mom's boyfriend was killed, and who's going to teach me how to tie a tie now? Who's going to throw the football with me?
Kids see violence at home, in their neighborhoods. The cycle stops at Kaufman.
This is our responsibility.
That's why teaching can't just be about curriculum.
Here at Kaufman, what do you think we need to do?
When beyond the classroom, kids are already learning survival.
The first economic data report that went unreleased due to the government shutdown will be released next week. The Bureau of Labor Statistics said the report on September non-farm payrolls will come out Thursday morning. A day later, the government will release real earnings. That's a companion report to the monthly consumer price index that did not come out simultaneously in October because average earnings which are part of the payroll report, were not released. To get more news, weather, and sports, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com. In Massachusetts, an elementary school principal spent a cold night sleeping on the school's roof. Jennifer Peñate reports it was to make good on a big promise he made to all of his students.
Here we go.
It's not every day you see a principal climbing up the school's roof. And this reporter following behind. It's for the children. It was a must when we found out Blanchard Elementary Principal Michael Votto
Cozy, cozy, cozy.
would be sleeping here 20 feet up.
I have my bedding for the evening, my heater.
Why, you ask? Because he's a man of his word.
And I said, yeah, I'll sleep on the roof if we hit 25,000, not thinking we would hit 25,000.
The students crushing their $20,000 goal at this year's fun run, where families raise money to fund things like field trips and special programs.
It shows what being part of a community is. You know, one student may not have raised a lot of money and the next may have, but together they've accomplished this goal.
And to add to the fun, Principal Votto is inviting all of his students to the roof for a virtual read aloud. On his laptop from his tent,
It's not every day a little T-Rex starts school.
reading 2 books as families watch in amusement.
Family thinks that I've lost it a little bit, I think, but
Leaving parents impressed.
We need fun, and he's going to have so much street cred.
It's a first in Mr. Votto's 28-year career. Quite the treat for his 457 students.
the community is a pretty special place, and I just want to give back.
Principal Votto shared that he slept in his pajamas and he brought a teddy bear with him for company. Let's Grow Texas Ag is airing its 18th episode on KVCT. On Monday, will air at 9:35 p.m. and again on Sunday, November 30th at 5:30. In this episode, Joe Adams is at Goliad State Park taking a look at the history of the Texas cattle trails. And now Mac rounds up the weather.
Yes, sirree. We'll have a big roundup this weekend. Things are looking great to be outdoors. I mean, we'll be in the upper 80s for the weekend. Right now, we're at 75. Our winds settling down. They were up to about 25 earlier. Managed to get up to 86 today, compares to the 74, which is where we're supposed to be. But we are looking at a change for the weather pattern next week, and we'll talk about that coming up after this. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Got some video to show you what's going on in Southern California. Normally, you know, their freeways are pretty bad, but on a rain, stormy day like this, we've got all kinds of cars that are slipping and sliding. So, why am I telling you this about LA? Because that storm is going to be strong enough to knock down the high pressure on top of us, leading us to a chance for rain next week. I'm not saying that storm will be here, but as you can see right about there, but the effects of that system will be affecting us. So the strong southeast winds will continue again for Saturday and Sunday. That's going to get you up to about 85, 88 as a high temperature. I mean, really, it's almost spring-like out there. You can be out there and enjoy it, do a little barbecuing or maybe picking up leaves, getting the garden ready, because sooner or later it's going to start getting cold. Well, later it's going to start getting cold, not sooner. So high pressure on top of us and all over the state of Texas. So you can see how we're not invited to anything. We've got clear skies over pretty much the entire state. If you happen to be traveling this weekend, you've got no problems at all. I'm showing you the big picture because this is what we're talking about. It's a very powerful winter storm, and generally they drop through the Midwest or the Northwest and then come down. This one is way down south, and if it were to move directly eastward, we'd be in great shape. But it looks like it's going to be rolling up into Colorado, taking a lot of that moisture and precipitation up to that area. This is great news for all of the western states. Some rain, some snow at the higher elevations, and hopefully we'll shut down our fire danger with all this rain early. Our southeast winds will be blowing throughout most of Saturday, probably at about 25-mile-an-hour range. I don't think it'll bother you much, but you will notice it. But that's what's keeping us on the warm side right on through the weekend. We are looking, of course, at all that to change next week as all that weather stuff that you saw there on the West Coast starts moving across the country. Overnight, we're getting down to only 61. That's your low temperature. And tomorrow, getting up into the mid 80s, 86 for us and 88 out in Cuero and 87 out in 89 in Three Rivers. So let me show you what we're talking about. Now, this is a big picture. The eastern storm is gone. High pressure is over us. We move forward into Saturday. You can see the big storm coming to shore. Nothing here. All right. Then we go to Sunday, still fairly quiet for Texas, but you can see how this goes into the Rockies. And then by the time we get to Monday and then Tuesday, you start seeing some little rain beginning to develop. What is that? Well, pressure is dropping, lower pressure is arriving. That gives us a shot at some rain. So by the time we get to Wednesday, there you go. All of a sudden, we're in the rain business, and Thursday should be the peak of it as the frontal system comes through. So again, high pressure up here, no rain. Low pressure down here, good rain, and that's what we're waiting for. When that system pulls away next Friday, here's the other good news. There's another one sort of setting up behind it. Hopefully it'll follow the same path. So tomorrow, looking good in Port Lavaca. Going down to fishing or just visiting, it should be terrific, getting up to about 83. In the Cuero area, lots of sun, getting up to about 86. A little bit of a breeze in the afternoon hours. And like I said, it's not till about Wednesday of next week things start getting interesting, and hopefully Thursday is our day to get some much needed rainfall here in the Crossroads. That's your 7-day forecast. Reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone, and we'll toss it back to Don.
Mac, thank you. It's called the sinking season. It's better known as the Texas High School Football Playoffs, and sports director Max Williams is there for night 2.
Yeah, Don, we had some great action there for night 1 there of the first round of the playoffs, but night 2 has arrived, and after the break, we're going to reveal our game of the week with Victoria West facing Corpus Christi Miller. So stay right there. All right, Crossroads. Last night we had 6 teams advance to the area round of the playoffs there from the 2A and 3A ranks. But tonight, multiple other teams look to do the same, including Victoria West Warriors, who finished off 8-2 overall and 4-2 in district. They're facing the Miller Buccaneers, who finished 4-1 overall and have been on a 5-game winning streak at 4-6 though overall. And currently, our 25 News Now weekend sports anchor Ray Robinson is live at Buccaneers Stadium, and he's out there with Victoria West head coach in Courtney Boyce. So Ray, take it away.
Max, it's a windy night out here at Buccaneers Stadium, but, I think it's not going to be the case out there on the field as Victoria West begins their by-district playoff game against Miller. And, Coach Boyce, I just got a question. What did the preparation look like for tonight? You guys want to obviously set the bar high, for the playoffs and stuff. So just tell us a little bit about the preparation.
Yeah, we took it one day at a time, but, there's some familiarity playing Corpus Christi Miller. We used to be in their district, and, the kids were excited about the opportunity to come here. Great week of practice, real focused, and, we're just excited.
For sure. You guys ended the regular season 2 games on a 2-game winning streak. So what are some key performers or some key groups from the team that we can just, us and folks at the Crossroads can expect to kind of step up for us tonight?
Yeah, I think our defense has been playing lights out, with a lot of confidence, and, offense just look to continue to improve, looking to make big plays. We got big guys out there, Tristan Bernard, Jared Swanson. It's probably the second week of the whole season. We've been fully loaded on offense, and we're just looking forward to it. Looking for our O-line to control the line of scrimmage, and same for our D-line.
Absolutely, it's going to be a fun night, Coach. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Max. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Ray. Now we're going to head over to the volleyball area where Shiner St. Paul battled Katy Faith West Academy for the state semifinals yesterday in the TAPS 2A state championship. And Lady Cardinals, they would lose in a 5-set thriller at Robinson High School. So Shiner St. Paul would finish off the year 25-13-2 overall and had an undefeated year in district. So congrats for the Lady Cardinals finishing off well in the state semifinals. Now, 2 days ago, we had early signing day happening for all the top high school athletes. Well, yesterday, top Refugio track runner Carly McLean announced her commitment to Texas A&M Kingsville. McLean has been a top runner for the Bobcats, running the 100, 200, and 400-yard dashes in top relays. She's going to finish off her senior year there with Refugio and kind of hopes to break some more records going the rest of the way for McLean. And finally, the Houston Rockets battle the Portland Trailblazers NBA Cup action. That's going to start there at 7 p.m. The Rockets looking to get some more major point production from Kevin Durant, who leads the team in points per game with 24.6. And also the San Antonio Spurs are playing an NBA Cup action as well versus the Golden State Warriors at home, and their tip-off will be at 8:30 p.m. there at the Frost Bank Center. And that's going to do it here in sports. Don, back to you.
Max, thank you. We're back in a moment. Find out why there was a ceremony about a turkey at the Alabama governor's mansion today. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey hosted the 77th annual turkey pardoning at the governor's mansion this morning. The Alabama public voted on the names of the 2 turkeys provided by local producers, the Bates Turkey Farm. Governor Ivey announced the winning names of the turkeys as she pardoned them. The names are Phil, that's F-I-L-L, and Buster.
Wow.
The annual tradition started in 1949 and has been a fixture in the state ever since. Sweet home, Alabama, especially for those 2 turkeys. They're safe.
I was going to say, like, you got those 2 kind of unique names, Phil and Buster.
Phil and Buster. Oh, yeah, I get it now. Okay.
I would have given them Belt and Buster, but
yeah, it's like a political thing.
Oh, I see.
I finally figured it out.
I get you. Oh, filibuster.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm saying.
There you go.
We got to connect the dots.
I'm just a little slow. Hey, folks, you got a great weekend coming up. Lots of sunshine and warm weather, getting up to 86, 88 over the weekend. Enjoy it while you can. Looks like next week our weather pattern is finally going to be changing around here.
Hope for the better.
Yes.
Anyway. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight. 25 News Now at 10.